are here. And this is our series, our live that we do every Saturdays at 9 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to mark your calendar so you don't miss the next one. All right. So if you have ever been the person, I have been, who told the truth and somehow ended up punished, isolated, or labeled as the problem, okay, this video is for you. This live is for you. And I know I'm not the only one, okay? So grab your tea, grab your coffee, your notes, because we're going to get right to it. And I want to give you guys tools, okay? Free tools, okay? I don't know about you, but with this recession, free is the word, okay? Let's keep it real. And so, if, like I said, if something doesn't sit right while everyone's pretending everything's fine, right? In Delulu land, you have narcissistic systems where people have to act like everything is fine. And if you bring it out to the awareness, attention, unfortunately, you are labeled as the black sheep, okay? If that's you, stay with me, because narcissistic systems run deep, all right? And let's see what's going on in the chat. How are you feeling today? Let's go on in the chat. This is my feeling wheel. Okay, if you Google the feeling wheel, you'll get this beautiful diagram. And it's great to just be able to identify different emotions, right? And express them, not stuff them in, because that leads to more mental health issues. And so how are we feeling today? Go ahead and put in the chat. How are you feeling today? All right, for me, I'm feeling, let's see. I would say for the most part, I'm peaceful today. I'm peaceful. It's a chill day for me. Slowing down. How are you feeling today? Okay, let's check in with our emotions. Let's not stuff it. But today we're talking about narcissistic system, and how the truth teller is rarely rewarded. All right, so we're gonna get right to it. Okay, I have my notes here because listen, it is Saturday morning. Okay, yes. So the truth teller, like I said, is rarely rewarded, and they're often the scapegoat, and eventually they're pushed out the system. Why? Not because you're difficult, but because you're dangerous. All right. So I want you to comment if you ever been like singled out for telling the truth, or punished, ignored. All right. Comment if that's you, or comment where you joining us from. All right. Send me some love, guys, in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Yes. So, hello, I see you there, Gabriel. Thank you for joining. Hello. Where are you joining us from? I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right. Originally from New York. Hello for Germany. Eye of the Tiger. Vigilant. I love it. Hi. Welcome from Germany. I appreciate the love. We're talking about narcissistic systems, right? So if you've ever been told you're too sensitive, too dramatic, or negative, when you're simply being honest, yeah, that's what we're talking about. And if you're new here, I'm Jenny Gaston, licensed professional counselor of about 20 years, and I talk about anxiety, depression, trauma, you name it. And I like to give you guys tools, okay? And today we're talking about what is a narcissistic system. Sometimes we overuse that word, right? But when we talk about a system, it's different from talking about one person. Yeah, it's different from talking about one person. And so we're talking about entire ecosystems. Hello, Gabriel. So it could be a workplace environment, family, okay, system, where everything is built by protecting the ego, image, and power, right? This can show up in churches, religion, organizations, social media communities, even healing spaces, there's this unspoken rule nobody talk about. Hello, Shemaya. Thanks for joining. Okay, why is this the case with narcissistic systems? It's because accountability threatens power. Okay, accountability threatens power, and emotional honesty, guys, threatens control. Oh, thank you for sending the love, the dollar. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm going to give you some love there. Thank you so much. So let's identify someone who carries the blame. Okay, why do truth tellers get punished? Where here's the part that people don't talk about enough. Narcissistic systems don't punish abuse. They punish exposure, right? So when you name the issues like gaslighting or favoritism or emotional neglect, yes. And somebody just comment, Nathan, life itself was a canvas. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. And I want to inspire you guys because as a mental health counselor, I want to provide you with some free resources. Okay. This is something I do for a living, but I do believe the importance of giving back. So let's talk about double standards, guys. Okay. Double standards. It's sometimes when you tell the truth, you're seen as disloyal. Okay? Sometimes this could be in a family system where it's like, no, what stays in a family, what you stay in a family stays in a family, which I can understand to a certain degree. But guess what? Yes, Therapy Thursday. Yes, Musin. That's right. Thanks for joining. And so, but if there are toxic patterns in the family, we should not bury it. We should speak up and say, guys, have a family meeting and say, we got to change the way we communicate, or maybe as a workplace, the way we communicate, the way we yell at each other, the competition, right? When you have parents comparing siblings to each other right in their face, this can happen in a workplace environment. Yes, where the supervisor airs out everybody dirty laundry in the meeting instead of one-on-one. There's a reason for that. It's done with on purpose. It's to power and control. Okay. And if you speak up, sometimes you're the one targeted. There's a smear campaign. Everyone's now talking negatively about you. They're assassinating your character, right? Giving you the silent treatment. This could be tough. Especially it's almost like feeling like you're on social exile. Okay, social exile. And often the punishment is small enough sometimes that you start questioning yourself. You start gaslighting yourself and say, wait a minute, did I do something wrong? I told the truth and now I'm getting punished. Make that make sense, guys. That doesn't make sense. But in these kind of systems, it do. So continue to give me hearts and thumbs up. I see you. I really appreciate it. There is a psychological cost of being the scapegoat, okay? So we're going to talk about what this does to our bodies, our nervous system. Long-term, scapegoating leads to chronic anxiety, hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is when you're on edge. You're constantly checking the environment. You're on surveillance. Also, it leads to shame. And that shame does not belong to you. It does not belong to you. All right. Then you may have difficulty trusting people. Okay. That's tough. And there's a deep fear of speaking up because you said, well, last time I spoke up and I told the truth, this is how I was punished. So let me keep silent. And guess what? That's the goal. The goal is for you to do that. So many truth tellers who grow up become therapists like myself, advocates, artists, writers, but others become lone wolves because guess what? You don't want to deal with people. You say, you know what? I had enough. I'm just going to keep to myself, right? You ever seen an animal in the wild that keep to themselves? Dangerous, okay? You have to find your community. Maybe that might not be your blood. That might not be your coworkers. And remember, your coworkers are not your friends, okay? I have to say it. Now, truth tellers come with a price. Being a truth teller comes with a price. So I want you to comment if you ever felt safe being alone than in a group. Okay? Have you ever felt safe being alone than in a group? We're going to talk about why. Why? Okay? And why, if you are a truth teller, the system wants you gone. Okay? They don't want you because you are a mirror. You are a mirror to others, and sometimes others don't want to deal with themselves. Okay, that's facts. That's facts, and that might sting, but it's freeing to know the system doesn't want you to change. They want you to change actually, and want you to make yourself small, shrink your light. Okay, but you are meant to shine bright, just like this candle. Okay, you're made for a purpose. You are unique, but we all try to be like someone else. I don't know why. Okay. And so others may wake up patterns. Okay. And that's what truth tellers do. They wake up people who have toxic patterns that don't want to be exposed. And then there becomes a power shift, right? So eventually, guess what? The system forces a choice: conform or self-abandon. Okay, Daniel, why are you going to do that? Don't do that. Get some coffee and some tea, okay? Yes. And when you choose yourself, guys, guess what? Narcissistic systems call it betrayal. Call it betrayal. So let's connect this to narcissistic social media systems, right? Because most of us are social media. And I talk about this more in my previous video, my last live, on narcissistic social media systems. So if you missed that, definitely want to check it out, because these systems reward performance, not authenticity. It rewards rage bait content, right? Content that keeps you on fight, flight, or freeze mode, especially right before bed. Okay. So anyway, online narcissistic systems thrive on image creation, toxic, okay, dialogue, this versus that, which brings us to something interesting, guys. Why analog culture is trending, because people are tired. Everybody now is going back to DVDs, CDs, okay, record playing, reading books. Hello, thanks for joining. I see you at Shapa. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but hello. Where are you joining us from? I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And guess what? Who's tired of being misinterpreted? Okay? That's why analog culture is trending. People are taking a break and they're going offline. They're taking walks in nature. And sometimes you need to take a break, guys. Okay? That's important because those spaces are harder to manipulate. You don't have the news flashing on your screen. Even if you try to avoid the news, you're going to bump into it in social media, right? Yes. Somebody said, this is hidden deep. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Musin. I appreciate it. Yes. Okay. And so healing isn't about proving them wrong. Continue to send me some likes, guys, some hearts. Hit the heart button. You can send as many as you can. That will help me so YouTube know that this information is powerful. Yes. Okay. Healing as a form of scapegoat isn't about proving them wrong. Don't waste your breath. It's about reclaiming your voice, trusting your perception, and choosing environments that don't require you to erase yourself and be small. Sometimes healing looks like low contact or no contact, right? Being emotionally detached and building parallel lives. You do you over here. I'm going to focus on me over here. So I'm going to give you some journal prompts, guys, to help you pause and reflect. So feel free to pause the video or rewind to write these down, because like I said, I want to give you guys tools. So ask yourself, when I told the truth in the past, how was I responded to? That's the first one. When I told the truth in the past, how was I responded to? Number 2, what labels were placed on me that didn't feel accurate? The second prompt is, what labels were placed on me that didn't feel accurate? Okay, because sometimes people will paint you out to be someone you're not when you're a truth teller, because they don't want to take accountability. Let that sink in. Number 3, what did the system gain by silencing me? What did the narcissistic system gain by silencing me? 5, where in my life do I still minimize myself to belong? Where in my life do I still minimize myself to belong? Listen, I've been guilty of this. I'm not going to lie. All right, number 6, what would safety look like if I didn't have to perform? What would safety look like if I didn't have to perform? Okay, so I want you to think about these prompts, okay? And if this live is resonating with you guys, okay, I want to invite you to a safe space. I do have a Facebook group, if you're on Facebook, called No Contact Knock Chronicles. I'll leave a link in the description. It's pretty much a community for people healing from narcissistic systems, scapegoating, relational trauma. All right. And remember, you're not broken. You're just telling the truth in a system that can't handle it. Okay. And so if this live helped you to name something you've been carrying, consider subscribing. Okay. And let's listen. My next live will be on why narcissistic people always rewrite history. They like to flip the script, rewrite the story, and why it makes you feel crazy. This is a form of crazy making, guys, okay? Because we're going to talk about how memory manipulation, which is gaslighting over time, and how to anchor yourself in reality again. And so make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell, because you're not going to want to miss this video. And so I do want to give you guys some more journal prompts that will help you. These prompts are based on the cognitive behavioral therapy model, also known as CBT model for short. So we're going to get right to it. Let's cook. So number 1, what happened? So as you think about your week, you think about your day in chronological order, list what happened. I like to use a book, but I also like to use my phone. Okay, so you can have more than one journal. All right, thank you so much for the donation, Shamaya. I appreciate it. All right, that's the first prompt. But maybe you might say, nothing happened. I had a great day. So maybe 1B is, what's your trigger? So either 1A, what happened, or 1B, what's my trigger? Prompt number 2, how do I feel? How do I feel? And guess what, guys? A lot of times we ignore our feelings. So going back to the emoji chart from kindergarten, I want you to describe how do you feel. If you want this beautiful picture, Google the feeling wheel and screenshot this. It gives you more language. Okay, how do I feel? Number 3, what are my inner thoughts? We think thousands of inner thoughts to ourselves each day, but many times, guess what? We're not aware of it. It's in the background, right? You ever had too many tabs open on your computer? It's like, why am I lagging? That's the same thing with your mental health. A lot of times we're lagging because we have all these inner thoughts, and we need to put it in a container. We need to leave it in a journal. Leave it there, okay? So what are my inner thoughts? And inner thoughts usually fall into 1 or 3 categories. It could be A, how do I view myself? Are you hard on yourself? Are you a perfectionist? Right? B, how do I view the world? Do I view the world through rose-colored glasses or gray-colored glasses? Trauma has a way of affecting how we view the world. Or C, how you think others view you. Okay? Are you a people pleaser? Are you concerned about your reputation? You don't have to hit A, B, and C. These are just examples. So just to recap, first journal prompt, either 1A, what happened, or B, what's my trigger? 2, how do I feel? Okay. 3, what are my inner thoughts? What are my inner thoughts? Now, if I was journaling out loud, I'm going to give you an example. And let's say I had a horrible day because I had a presentation, I missed a couple of slides, and I'm like, ah, yeah, I'm so frustrated. I wonder if my supervisor view me as incompetent. Off the bat, I just told you what happened, right? I had a presentation, I missed a couple slides. How do I feel? Frustrated. What are my inner thoughts? I'm wondering how others are going to view me. Will my supervisor view me as incompetent, right? That's the easy part, guys. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to go to prompt number 4. This is where the mental push-ups come in. You want to ask yourself, number 4, is there any evidence to support these thoughts? We're talking about the thoughts from journal prompt number 3. Is there any evidence to support these thoughts? So you want, when I say evidence that can be used in a court of law. I heard this person say this. Did I get a screenshot? Did I get an email? We're not talking about gossip, because you know people, when they spread gossip, the story changed, they embellish, they stretch the truth. You get the drift, okay? Then you want to ask yourself the opposite question, prompt number 5. Is there any evidence to contradict these thoughts? So we weighing out our thoughts critically. Okay, we're good at being critical thinkers when we're in school, when we're at work, but when it comes to our thoughts and feelings, a lot of times we throw critical thinking out the door. Okay, and we can't do that. Now, it's okay to sit in your feelings and to validate those feelings, but we also want to challenge those thoughts and feelings, all right? And then finally, journal prompt number 6, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from this? And so those are the 6 journal prompts. If you missed it, you can always go back and watch the replay, guys, okay? And these prompts are CBT prompts, cognitive behavioral therapy prompts, proven by research to be effective in helping you manage your emotions, to help you to grow in self-awareness, reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. So this is a free tool for you guys. And guess what? If you can journal 2 times a week, I guarantee you in about 6 to 8 weeks using these prompts, you will notice a shift. You will notice a shift. I always tell my clients, the power of any tool is how often you use that tool when you don't need it. The power of any tool is how often you use that tool when you don't need it. Yeah, and so it's almost like the Karate Kid effect, okay? You know that movie? He didn't know why his teacher kept making him wash those cars. He was frustrated. It seems like busy work using these prompts. What's the point? Well, I guarantee you that if you use the prompts consistently, you're going to memorize it because it's only 6 prompts, okay? And then from there, you'll be able to rewire your brain, okay? Rewire your brain so that when something happens and you're triggered, instead of going to your default thinking, just react, these prompts are going to be like circuit breakers to help you slow down. So if you can imagine a train, right? I'm originally from New York, right? The A train. It has a route. This is the way our mind works. We're trying to derail that train, okay? We don't want every time we're triggered to go to the same route. We're trying to derail that train. And this is what journaling does, using cognitive behavioral therapy prompts, all right? No, I wasn't on that show, but thank you for the compliment, right? Yes, so for those who are just joining in, my name is Jenny. I am a licensed professional counselor, and in my work, I focus on helping folks to heal from anxiety, depression, trauma, and so much more. So subscribe, check out my other live videos. I do have longer videos with more tools to help you all, okay? And so thank you for joining me, guys. I really appreciate the engagement, okay? Yes, and it's okay if you struggle with critical thinking skills. You know, it's something that we have to train ourselves. It's a muscle, you know, just like social skills is a muscle. And if you don't use it, you do lose it. It's like a language. Listen, guys, I speak 4 languages and I'm getting rusty, so I need to start practicing, okay? It's the same thing. So don't feel bad if this is a struggle for you. Emotional management is a struggle for you. You find yourself, you know, your social battery is low. You're easily frustrated. You can train yourself to manage your emotions better. But it starts with consistency. So just tell yourself twice a week, use a phone, use a notebook, journal. You don't always have to use these prompts. You can freestyle, you can do a gratitude journal, but try to journal consistently. If you're not engaging in movement, start walking, because the body holds on to stress, it holds on to trauma, so you have to release it. Even if you punch a pillow, release that after a tough day, okay? And crying also allow you to release, okay? So there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. And so thanks for joining me. Thanks for the love, the donation, the hearts, and for subscribing. I appreciate you all, and make sure to join me next Saturday. Yes. Have an amazing week, guys, all right? All right now. Much love as always, and take care of yourself.